Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for some awesome Dota 2 action here on the Tactic Hive Alpha Cup. This is the semifinals and finals day. Yesterday we played a big round robin with every team facing off against every team and came out with 4 victors after a intense match of tiebreakers. So 2 teams doing really well. Or 2 teams, 4 teams, 4 teams coming out on top and ending up in these semifinals. So, now, our semifinals are going to be Totem of Scrotum versus Team Bob Marley, which we are having here, and then on the other side, we are going to have Report My Team versus Ego Trippin'. And then these are best of 3s, and the winner of these best of 3s will go on to face off in a final round, which is a best of 3 as well. So yesterday, as I was saying, who was it? Oh crap, I can't find the email.
Dire Team ban.
I can't remember who it was. I do believe Totem of Scrotum was one of the teams to come out of the tiebreaker. There was a 3-way tiebreaker yesterday, and so they played a bunch of extra games and went around and Swag, Totem of Scrotum came out on top. So Report My Team, they were in my group for the round robin tournament, and they performed exceptionally well, won every single game that I watched of theirs. Actually, they won all their games, but I spectated 2 of them and they were just playing out of their minds. So definitely a team to look out for. I have no clue about the Ego Trippin' or Team Bob Marley. I have not casted Bob Marley before, or Team Bob Marley before, so this will definitely be a good one. I'm excited to see how this one turns out, and yeah, here we go. We got a Death Prophet, a Viper, a Doom ban coming on here, and an OD ban. So that leaves a lot of heroes in the pool. The Bristleback's there, the Timbersaw's there. I mean, the Alchemist, even though he's not picked very much, the Slark is also there, who just got snatched up as the first pick for TBM. So lot of stuff open in this pool, and I'm kind of curious about these bans because, like I said, you're not the standard first set of meta bans right now, and you know, I think that's completely fine. Players are starting to figure out 6.8 a little bit more, and we're seeing less and less weight given to the Alchemist. He's not banned as often, and when he isn't banned, he's usually picked up second or third. You know, sometimes even left for the second stage of the game, and I still don't think he's worth that first slot pickup, but that's just my opinion. A lot of teams are still finding him very useful and using him to whatever potential they can squeeze out of him. So anyways, the Slark, Dazzle, and Bristleback Alchemist, the 2 pickups here. Now Slark, it's like I said, he's an interesting hero, and he makes it really hard to call a draft because he can go safe lane, he can go mid, he can go off lane. Generally we've seen him as a mid laner, but you know, teams are willing to throw it up, throw him in other, or toss it up, throw him in other places and stuff, and see how things get going. Now the Bristleback, obviously, tanky offlaner, gets in people's faces, punched him down a bit. The only nerf he received in 6.8 was a base damage reduction of 4. So Quill Spray still just as effective, Viscous Nasal Goose still just as effective, Warpath still just as effective, and you know, he gets in your face, beats you down, so he's a very strong hero. Alchemist probably going to be playing on a support role here. Storm Spirit going to be taken for that mid for Temple of Swag. They are, I do believe their registered team name is Totem of Scrotum, but they're playing under Temple of Swag as, I guess, a safe for work tag. So, either way. Now, like I said, there's not too much synergy between these all of these heroes right now. Nothing that stands out to me as like, oh, they're going to do this. There's not going to be, you know, it's just kind of pace-setting heroes, which you know, kind of indicates what kind of game both teams want to play. So Temple of Swag, right now you got the Bristleback, the Alchemist, and the Storm Spirit, which are all very mid-game oriented heroes. Generally, Alchemist, you know, used to be considered a late-game hero, but now that he's been seen on the support role, he's a lot more useful for ganking in the mid-game, maneuvering around the map, and making team fights happen at that 10 to 25 minute mark when he gets his medallion up and can start hitting hard. So all of these heroes kind of meant to get in the enemy's face and just shut them down early and start to gain a momentum advantage that just kind of balls out of control. If Storm Spirit gets a couple kills under his belt, he'll just take off. And you know, same thing about the Bristleback. If he has an okay off lane and then can start moving around and jumping in people's faces and just punching them down, you know, he ends up being pretty ridiculous. So Temple Swag, like I said, the sweet point for them is going to be hitting the you know, 10 to 25 to even 30-minute mark with a lot of pressure. You know, maybe not even getting towers, but just diving past towers, getting a lot of kills, getting a lot of golden experience on their side. Maybe picking up an early Roche with the Alchemist Medallion / Acid Spray. So, like I said, we'll have to see what they do. Lion was a pickup for Team Bob Marley, and Darkseer now seen by Temple of Swag. So I'm really curious about the Darkseer pickup, because generally Bristleback's run on the off lane, but now it's looking like he's going to be run on a tri lane. Darkseer is generally seen as that off lane player because he's just really safe. So we'll probably be seeing Darkseer on the off lane. We'll see an Alchemist Bristleback +1 tri lane, which indicates a very aggressive tri lane as well. However, I don't know how that's going to work out for them, because Team Bob Marley's got a really supporty team right now. I think Necrofrost is probably going to head to... Ooh, Necrofrost might be on the tri lane.
Reserve time.
I'm not entirely sure. Team Bob Marley kind of throwing me for a spin here. Like I said, that Slark is a very versatile hero, and same with Necrofrost. He can play on a support role, though he's generally better farming off mid or the off lane. He's not fantastic on the off lane, though, because he needs to be near the creep wave to be able to death pulse them, which, you know, is something that you have to deal with on the off lane. So I have a feeling right now we're going to be looking at Necrofrost mid, Dazzle Lion, Slark off lane, or tri lane, but I'm not entirely sure. Slark could be going to the off lane, and then we'll have a +1 carry. Temple Swag gets rid of the Mirana, and Visage banned out by Team Bob Marley as they're still missing a support. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. If that Visage came out, it would have been a nasty deal. Curious what they are going to go for, though, because as I said, I think they need a setup hero for that Alchemist stun, really. Something that can really lock somebody down for a couple seconds while Alch charges his stun. Nowadays, with the new nerf to Alchemist stun, it is a lot harder to get that off, especially at nighttime when you don't have as much vision. Plus, you have to charge it for a lot longer, which means that it's easier to kind of push you out of range or escape and force the Alchemist to stun himself. So, Ancient Apparition is the pickup. I love this. I love this. I love this. AA is one of my favorite picks. Not just because, like, I mean, he's not the best pickup all the time, but you know, if you got the right composition to make him work, he's incredible. And I think with the Darkseer vacuum into the Ice Blast, their team is going to have a lot of fun in team fights as well. The Alchemist AA actually combos pretty decently. I mean, Alchemist has to charge his stun and land it independently, but AA can use stuns or use his slows to set that up so that Alchemist can catch up. As well, Cold Feet goes down once that stun flies, and you get a guaranteed 4 to 6 second stun between the two abilities. So, yeah, Alchemist max stun, rank 4 is 4 seconds. I mean, he won't be max. Let's say 2.5. And how long do you need to wait on Cold Feet? After 4 seconds. So yeah, you throw a slowdown on him, you get the Cold Feet on him as the stun is flying, and between the extra time that it takes for the stun to travel and the extra time that it takes for them to try to walk away afterwards, it's almost a guaranteed stun. So Cold Feet will be landing a lot of the times here. Anyways, back to Team Bob Marley. Now they are running down their reserve time looking for that last pickup. Completely okay to be using that now, and I think this last pick will really solidify what our lanes are, because right now I am still really confused as to what they're going to be running here. Like I said, Slark, a bit of an oddball pick. He could be going mid, but that leaves a really awkward tri-lane, because I don't know if Necrofrost will be going to the off-lane. I mean, he can go off-lane. He's a decent off-laner, but there are definitely way better pickups if you want to get him farm. I'm trying to think. They lack a lot of real carry potential right now. Like, they don't have anything to just take them into the late game. But, I mean, now that I think about it, neither does Temple of Swag. Okay, so Queen of Pain is the pickup. So I'm now thinking Necrofrost is going to be on the tri-lane, Slark on the off. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Like I said, this is A bit of a confusing draft, to be honest. Queen of Pain will be going mid for sure, and then Dazzle and Lion will be on the support roles. It's just a matter of where Necrophos decides to lane and where the Slark goes. They'll be off lane and safe lane, depending on how they go. Now this tri-lane that I was talking about, it is a very safe tri-lane. They're going to be playing that defensive. Dazzle, a very defensive hero, cannot really commit to an aggressive tri-lane very well. I mean, he can if they need to make it work, but looks like Necrophos is going to be going to the safe lane, and are they going aggressive try? I don't know about this, guys. Alright. Anyways, Bristle heading down towards the safe lane. He'll be the farmer for this team. So, anyways, let's get the teams introduced here. My dreams are crushed playing on the Bristleback. We got Road to 3K MMR playing on the Alchemist. NPAC going to be playing on the Ancient Apparition. Blue on the Storm Spirit. And up in the top lane, we got Raptors playing on the Darkseer. Up in the top here, we got Agent 00420. Going to be playing on the Solo Safe Necrophos. Swim to the Moon, going to be playing on the Queen of Pain. The invading force here is going to be NX, NX, Snake Dude 4, and Kev Mender for life.
30 seconds to battle.
Kite, yeah, probably Kite. So, two really aggressive wards going down. I don't know if this actually blocks the camp. It's pretty far back. I think you need to put it in here if you want to block the camp. Oh, we'll see in a moment. Sentry gets dropped and they're looking for it. They do have vision of that ward. Whoa, man. Right off the bat, getting rid of those wards. They,
The battle begins.
Oh, what the hell?
Illusion.
He knew exactly where those were. Must have been watching replays or something of the other games, because that was just two spot-on wards. If he placed them a little better, actually, yeah, if he'd placed it a little better, like right in here, he would have got both of them. But you know, I think I actually saw them warding. Their vision extended pretty far up here. I think they just saw them drop ward and ward, so it was a little bit obvious. But we do have a tri-lane now with a set of creeps to pull. That sentry ward will not be blocking them. So the alright. So, oh man, big fight's going down already. Slark pounces in, but with the stun and the quill spray, Slark drops really quick, man. This was why I was saying this should have been an aggressive tri-lane, because, I mean, these guys have a lot of damage output and a lot of control that this team just can't quite deal with. I mean, there's Earth Spike and there's Shallow Grave and stuff, but that's not going to come up for a few levels. And it's going to be really hard to, you know, make that happen the way you want it to when it does. I mean, you put Shallow Grave on one target, they turn around onto another. And Quill Spray is obviously going out on pretty much anybody, or everybody, when it starts going. So up towards the mid lane here, Queen of Pain and Storm Spirit. This is a pretty interesting matchup. I think for the first few levels, Queen of Pain wins this hands down. But once you start getting towards level 6, 7, 8, Storm Spirit should take that matchup no problem. Just because both teams kind of function in the same regard. They blink in, they jump on their opponent, they deal a lot of damage at once, and then they jump out if they're in trouble, and if not, they just keep going forward. However, Storm Spirit's a little better at doing that than... Oh my god, what? Is that range? What? I wish I could see his range on that ability, because I could have sworn he would have been able to throw that on the Slark. He just didn't. So, done himself. No harm, no foul, though. Looking on the Slark, he's taking a lot of damage there. He doesn't have a huge health pool right now, and Bristle, with that Chill and Touch on Bristleback, he's going to go deal a lot of damage if he wants to get up in their face there. Oh, Sun's being charged. Alchemist going. He throws it out on the Slark. He dark backs right away, and we'll purge that and back off. So, a couple auto attacks flying off to the Alchemist, but no big deal there. Up in the top lane, we got the Darkseer diving in behind this tower. Look, just doing some Ion Shell damage to the Necrophos, but it does get deflected with that Death Pulse, healing him up and dealing out damage at the same time. It's enough to keep the Darkseer away. Now, Necrophos is going to have to start making sure he nails his last hits, because he's only got one more Tango to his name, and the rest of what he gets is going to be based on sadism. So, Storm Spirit now grabbing himself an illusion or an invisibility rune. We'll be heading in towards that mid lane. Maybe try something on the Squap. I don't think he's going to kill her, but yeah, just leaves a remnant, throws an auto attack. Vortexes are back. A couple other attacks. Actually, drops are pretty darn low, but Tango and a bottle charge will fill her right back up. Darkseer cutting the lane a little bit here, grabbing the creep wave. Now, creep stack getting double pulled here, so there's not going to be a lane here. Slark's going to try to contest this, but this could turn ugly. He does actually get a pounce onto the Alchemist. He's charging up a stun now. He throws it before he gets Earth Spike, but he will fall. Bristleback coming in trying to make something of this. He gets hexed up. The Cold Feet going out on the Dazzle, but it's not going to finish. And he might have to disengage from this. AA doing a lot of damage, but there is support coming in. Quill Spray doing a little bit of damage on the backside. Earth Spike just catches that AA, but the pounce only latches onto the Bristle. And the Shallow Grave is forced to go out onto Dazzle himself, and he's going to die to another Quill Spray there. Now the line goes down to an Alchemist stun who comes in after the fact, and Slark drops as well. So 4 minutes in, and we have 4 kills on the side. Temple of Swag, Totem of Scrotum, they are doing work here in this tri-lane. Like I said before, this is a really strong tri-lane, and I would have expected them to go aggressive, but with Team Bob Marley coming down to meet them with their own aggressive tri-lane, it's just like candy in a basket. I don't know. You know, now, part of me now thinks that they saw the Bristleback on the tri-lane and they thought, alright, well, we're going to dodge the tri-lane, so they sent it down to bottom, and Temple of Swag was just like, yo, we're just going to go safe lane, and then it just ended up being a tri-lane versus tri-lane. Oh man, Storm jumping in way past the tower, picking off the Queen of Pain. So she drops, and like I said, level 6, Storm wins this matchup hands down. Up until then, Queen of Pain's got pretty good standing. Throw the dagger. Her burst does a little bit more than Storm's does, and so she wins for a little while. But after that, and for the rest of the game, Storm is ahead on this matchup. So Queen of Pain maybe not the best pickup here. Especially if Storm gets his Orchid first. I mean, she's toast. It's just Snowball City. If he jumps in on her and gets the Orchid off first, like, that's about it. So, anyways, heading up towards the top lane here, we got a smoke gang coming out between the AA and the Alchemist. They're looking for this Necrophos, and he is really far up. I mean, he's got Death Pulse and Reaper Scythe available to try to keep him alive, but I'm sure why they're not going already. Yeah, there they go. Sun's getting charged, there's Darkseer's running in, and boom, Necrophos is gone. Matter of seconds, Darkseer gets the kill with the Ion Shell, and that is 6-1. Slark eating a lot of quills down here in the bottom lane, but there is not enough mana for Bristleback to continue spamming it out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This tower's actually taking quite a consistent amount of damage. Every time there's a creep wave, Darkseer just runs past, makes sure the creeps get all their damage off, and then just runs back around into the jungle. Dazzle going to spot out a regen rune here for Queen of Pain. We'll probably leave that for her. I don't think Storm's in any position to contest, as his lane is getting pushed up pretty far. Yeah, get some power treads, and I think he bottle crowed there, so he's got that available to him. Oh man, Darkseer went deep. Looks like he probably just got Death Pulse and Reaper Scythe, and that was it. Whoa, what a guy! Just going out for a rip. Anyway, Slark trying to get to the side shot here. Gets jumped on by the Bristleback, but that pounce will give him enough room to escape. Now, Alchemist charging up a stun, but is forced to stun himself as the Hex comes out. But Lion taking a lot of damage. Shallow Grave. I'm trying to say Shallow Grave Shadow Wave. Anyway, Slark pounces in, gets the kill in the Ancient Apparition, but a 1 second charge is charged up, and Quill Spray almost dishing out enough damage, but the tower in assistance there will finish off the Bristleback. So 2 kills going the way of Team Bob Marley down in that bottom lane, and, getting a good engagement, keeping their friends alive with those friendly, awesome abilities that the Dazzle provides. Shadow Grave and the Shallow Wave. Got that completely backwards on purpose. It's confusing, man. Valve, why do you have to make a hero with rhyming names? Ice Frog. Anyways, Queen of Pain gets jumped on here, but Storm Spirit, yeah, he's just dishing out the damage. And like I said, there's not really anywhere Queen of Pain can run. She's got 1 blink, and Storm's got 7. So, you know, that's how it goes.
Tower is under attack.
Storm is going to be dominating this lane. He's 38-14 on the last hits, leading the charts. 26-4 on the Slark, 26-2 on the Darkseer, 23-7 on the Necrophos, and 22-4 on the Queen of Pain. 21-1 on the Bristleback. He is the least farmed of any of the cores in this game, but you know, he's doing himself already. He's got 4 kills, power treads, and most of his Vanguard completed. He just needs about 900 gold to finish that off. And once he gets that, it's going to be rough times for Team Bob Marley.
Middle tower is under attack.
Storm's gonna grab himself an Invis rune, and this is probably gonna mean a kill somewhere. Whether that means the bottom lane or back up on the Queen of Pain.
Regeneration.
You know, it's gonna be kill city. Pops out the Invis. He's gonna walk up the river, so might see Quap drop here. Quap drop. Got all the rhymes going today. First cast of the day is the most difficult tongue-twisting piece of crap ever. Anyways, Queen of Pain really far up. She's done. She is done. She blinked away. Zip zap forward. And Star Vortex. Yeah, that's going to be the story of it. She gets the last Scream of Pain off, but she drops as well. And, I mean, not much you can do in this lane. Like, you can play safe. She didn't have to go all the way up to the tower there. But, I mean, if she was just staying back here, same story. Storm walks up with the Invis here, jumps on her, does damage, and that's all there is to it. So, really unfortunate. I don't like that Queen of Pain pickup. I mean, they saw the Storm first. They had every opportunity to make something else work. And, oh man, Necrophos just going to town on this Darkseer. I'm not sure how the Darkseer keeps dying. Like, I mean, Reaper Scythe holds him down, but should never be that low that, you know, that does that. Anyways. 8-5 your kill score now, 9 minutes, 30 seconds into this game. This is the first of a best of 3 between these two teams. Semi-finals of the Tactic Hive Dota 2 Alpha Cup. Down to the bottom lane, a little bit of mana getting drained off that Bristleback, and he does not have a lot to give, so it's not that good for him, but either way. Pain just trying to farm up the mid. She's not, she's doing alright on her last hit, but she needs to be doing a lot better. Rune going to be checked here by the Dazzle. What pops up out of the goodie basket? It's a haste top. So that'll be spotted out by the Radiant side with their ward. But Queen of Pain's going to go grab that for herself. Now we do have a ganks. I don't know, Queen of Pain grabs a haste, but it looks like they want to go down on the bottom lane. Ancient Apparition gets stunned up, and looks like he is going to fall, but a good stun going down in return. Bristleback's charging forward, but the Necrophos has teleported down to try to help this out. And they realize that they can't be doing anything here. They back off to avoid further damages. And yeah, all 5 heroes from Team Bob Marley coming down to try to support this. Queen of Pain got halfway there, hesitated, turned back around, but you know, if TOS had continued on to that, if they had continued pressing forward and trying to get kills off of that loss, they would have incurred a few more deaths, which is definitely not what they want to do. Now, I mean, anytime we can see this lane go down. Yep, there he goes. Storm jumps right in and clears her off. He's going to go for the tower dive, but the ultimate goes out and the teleport comes in. So he does actually manage to waste the Sonic Wave, which is a good thing for him. It means that once he regens a little bit of mana, he'll be able to jump back in on that Queen of Pain and finish her off. So, up on the top lane, Darkseer knocking down this tower, and once this Fortify wears off, there's a good chance it's going to drop. There's a TP coming in, but I don't know if that's going to stop him. And Necrophos comes in. Darkseer does manage to get the last hit, and he's just going to shoot himself away. Alchemist charging a stun now. Where is he going to go? Throws it out on the Spark, who automatically Dark Pack. Gets out of that, no problem. Jumps in on the Ancient Apparition, gets a kill. Hey, it was way too far up. Should not have been up here. Especially with no support from the carry Bristle. He was way too far down. Does have his Vanguard now, so he's doing a lot better. Stark going for a lot of early game items. He's got that Poor Man's Shield, the Orb of Venom, and the Magic Wand. See what he goes for next. I'm assuming the Circlet Bracer will indicate some drums, but Bristle going really far forward, gets zapped, and Alchemist coming in, throwing out the stuns, but sometimes Cool Spray is just not enough, my friend. Trying to run away. Stark is charging up that Dark Pack, almost finishes him off. The pounce goes out on the Alchemist, and looks like Bristle is going to survive this for now. Queen of Pain jumps in, though, gets a Scream of Pain off, and the backwards facing Bristleback will not fall. Gets pulled his salve here and switches his treads to intelligence so that he gets a little bit more out of that. Now here, Storm Spirit finding himself a Necrophos, dishing out a ton of damage. Vortex goes out, Fall Lightning, back and forth. A lot of damage going out. Reaper Scythe does go though. Drops him really low, but he jumps forward, gets a kill on the Necrophos, and will run away with a very small handful of health left. The Storm is going to be a real problem, man. What's he at? He's level 11, 400. Oh man, Pounce goes out on the Bristleback, just barely misses, and he should be able to run himself away, no problem.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Anyways,
Radiant structures
got,
are good.
oh man, two kind of engagements going down here. Mana Drain going down on that Bristleback, while the Slark pounce onto the Alchemist, finishes him off. And the Slark is actually getting pretty ugly. He's only got one kill to his name, but he's making him have it slowly. Oh my god, just jumps in on the AA on the back lines. His team is not supporting him at all. They're just like, yo bro, run away, we're getting killed. Bristle charges forward, gets a kill on the Lion. But now there's 3 heroes between him and his retreat, and looks like they'll probably be able to get out of this no problem, but Necrophos is making things very difficult. We got 4 heroes versus 3 down on the bottom lane. Alchemist comes in with a charge stun, 2.5 seconds on that charge, and the Shallow Grave goes out on the Necrophos, but I don't think he's gonna live. Oh my god. Bristol charging forward. Quill Spray, not enough. Storm's gonna jump in though, gets one last attack, but it doesn't matter. He gets hexed up onto the tower, finished off. 10-9 your kill score, 14 minutes into this game. Queen of Pain jumping in. Oh my god, so much action. Alchemist drops, and this looks like it is a losing engagement for Temple of Swag right now. Totem and Scrotum as they are otherwise known. Oh, that Earth Spike actually caught. Are they gonna go? No. I would have thought Queen of Pain would blink in on that. I guess she didn't really have anything, but woo-wee, what an engagement. A slight turn for the worse on that tri-lane turned into a almost 5-on-5 engagement with heroes rotating in after their own deaths, and just a huge fight. Anyways, this tower almost certainly going to drop, and here we go. There is a fortify. Oh, there is no fortify available. I used it. Alright, so no fortify available. TPs if they want it, but with 5 heroes here, I don't know if it's smart to commit to that. So they will lose their tier 1 tower. They did get a tier 1 tower top in, earlier from that Darkseer. So tower score even, kill score even, and I'm sure the graphs are looking pretty even themselves. Yeah, gold 0, experience 500 advantage in the way of Team Bob Marley. So like I said, really even game right now, and this is what we're looking for in these semifinals. You know, round robins, occasionally you'll end up with a good game, but a lot of the times it's just kind of a one-way stomp as we start to weed out which teams are better and which ones are going to be moving on. And now that we're in the semifinals and the finals, we're seeing a lot better play, a lot more even trades, smarter decision making from the teams, and both of them just taking a good lead in this game. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out is that I think Temple of Swag, Totem of Scrotum, has the better late game, to be honest. The Storm Spirit, with the amount of kills he has under his belt, he's just going to be running away with it in the mid-game. Queen of Pain's going to be nearly irrelevant. Bristleback's going to get pretty ridiculous, and Alchemist can even farm up some stuff if he wants. The Slark is the only person who can really carry on Team Bob Marley. Queen of Pain can, but she's just going to get shut down so hard by the Storm. And his Reaper Scythe goes out on the Alchemist. Oh my god, big wall vacuum. It's going to deal so much damage. Queen of Pain trying to blink away, but I don't know if she's going to manage to get away. Surge goes out on the Bristleback as he charges forward. One more attack, she dies. Storm getting treated for 5 heroes, and this is where Temple of Swag takes off. What a wall vacuum. Darkseer MVP right now. Holy hell, 5 kills under their tier 1 tower, and they're going to get this tier 1 on the other team's side. Woo! What an engagement, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Dota is all about, and here we go. This tower is going to drop, and Temple of Swag picks themselves up a huge advantage heading into this mid-game here. Sorry, it's early morning cast. I gotta have my coffee, man. Gotta have the coffee. It feels good. Feels so good. Anyways, we see Storm Spirit about halfway to his Orchid right now, and once he gets that, Queen of Pain, she's gonna become even more irrelevant. And there's a lot of heroes that the Orchid screws over on Team Bob Marley there. Once the Orchid comes out onto Dazzle, that means there's no Shallow Grave. Well, if it comes out on Slark, it means, well, unless he preemptively Dark Packs, there's going to be no Dark Pack, no Shadow Dance. Lion, it means he's completely irrelevant. Necrophos still has, still got his Blade Mail and his passives and stuff, but for the most part, he's not going to be doing much. No Death Pulse, no Reaper Scythe. They're pinging out the Necro. They do want to go on this. Storm Spirit jumps up. Blade Mail goes out. AA ulti flies in. I think it hit 3 people there. so much damage. They're looking for it. They get a stun out on the Necro. He's going to drop a zip drop forward. Lion's going to drop as well. Slark did fall at the end of that. I don't know where he died. I thought he was out of that for sure. But Bristleback continuing on. Ion Shell on top of him. Sticky Viscous Nasal Goo goes down, and he's dishing out all the damage. Got a Vladimir's up and gets himself 4 kills. So this is balling out of control really quickly for Team Bob Marley. Like I said, it was almost dead even before that engagement at mid, but now we've seen 2 really bad engagements going the way of Temple of Swag once the teamfight phase of the game has begun. And this is going to transition into a really ugly mid game. This is kind of a mentality shift that Bob Marley needs to have on their side, because, you know, if you trade evenly for a good portion of the game like they were, it's you know, it's really easy to kind of think, okay, we're on even footing, we just took a bad engagement. And that really isn't the case because, you know, now that engagement from those 2 fights is going to swing so far in the favor of Temple of Swag. I mean, if we take a look at the gold graph, 5,000 gold advantage taken from an actual gold deficit only moments earlier. Same thing in the EXP, they were down in EXP just a little bit, but now up 7,500. So Bob Marley needs to take into account that they are behind. They need to have that mentality that, shit, if we don't play smart, we are going to lose. And, you know, you can't trade as though you're even when you're not. And, you know, they could afford to do that before, but once they lost that engagement at mid due to some bad positioning and a really good back on the other team, you know, now they've got to consider that it's not going to work out for them. So, anyways, Queen of Pain doing a little better. Looks like she's going towards an Orchid herself, trying to see if she can shut down that Storm Spirit, but surprise, Storm Spirit has a better chance of getting the jump on Quap than Quap has a chance of getting the jump on him. And just like that, he jumps in, Orchid, Vortex, gone. And this is what I was talking about. Late game, Storm wrecks Queen of Pain. And he might actually pay the price for this as the team comes in and locks him down. And so he went a little bit too far. If he had a tiny bit more maximum mana pool, he could have ball lightninged away from that and not gotten caught out. So as that game goes on, we'll see that happen more and more, except, you know, he probably won't die next time.
Tower has fallen.
20 to 12 is your kill score here, 20 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. Things not looking good. If we look at the last hits and denies, Bristleback, Storm, and Darkseer, the 3, I guess, cores for Temple of Swag, sitting right on top, while 75, 75, 54 is the creep score for the cores on Team Bob Marley. So they are behind, not too far in the creep score, but in gold totals in general, they are just not having a good time. Towards his bottom lane, Slark did pick up those drums and grabs himself a Blade of Alacrity, so I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to be. Probably going to be a Yasha. I'd like to see a Diffusal Blade, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Yasha. Casual Cloak picked up on Bristleback. He'll probably be making that into a pipe, or a Hooded Defiance first, then a pipe later, because there is a lot of magic damage on the enemy team. Storm jumping forward to see if he can find anybody, and the Queen of Pain was there only moments earlier, but she is gone now. Haste Rune grabbed by that Alchemist. Probably not going to mean much as Team Bob Marley playing really defensive, just hanging around the entrance to their base. And looks like Temple of Swag going to decide to push up that top lane, try to get in and knock down that tower. Now, what I'd like to see from Team Bob Marley there is them sacking that tower and going rogue. Because, I mean, there's no real hope you're going to defend it. There's every single ultimate up from the enemy team. They're already dishing out a lot of damage. They are going to take a tier 1, but I think if they left right now, let the creep wave finish off that tier 1 and went to Roche, grab themselves a little bit of a gold advantage from the tower, and then grab themselves the fighting advantage of the Aegis, they'd be able to defend back here. It's too late for that now, as they're pushing in towards a tier 3, but grabbing that Roche would have given them a fighting advantage, which would have allowed them to defend their tier 3 a lot better. I still see a fight going really, really poorly in this position, unless it's executed terribly by Temple of Swag. But Slark pounces in, gets the leash out on the Bristleback, not going to matter too much. Alkstun flying out, catches that Necrophos, but they decide not to go on it quite yet, just knocking down this tower, spamming out the Quill Spray whenever they can. Death Pulse going to fly out, do a little bit of damage here, but going to back off for now, wait for the next creep wave. The Acid Spray goes out, and it looks like they are going to disengage here. They're going to back off. Darkseer's going to TP mid, and they're going to retreat to farming up the enemy jungle and just moving around a little bit more. Oh wow, okay, so we have an instant smoke up in response. The Slark is way ahead, and he is visible, but finds himself a Storm Spirit, jumps forward, and I don't know if Storm knows how much trouble he's in here. He does actually dish out a lot of damage on the Slark, and he's forced to run away, but the Shallow Grave keeps him alive. Reaper Scythe goes out on the Ancient Apparition, and the two supports die for Temple of Swag. Slark did actually die on the back lines. I'm not sure. Oh, it was probably Orchid damage that he died to. What did Slark die to here? Ancient Apparition kills Slark. Oh, okay, yeah, no, it was the AA ulti. That's actually, oh, okay, all right. A sudden moment of clarity here. I just realized how well AA counters the Shallow Grave. What the? Oh, they have two Sentry Wards up here. Oh boy. Yeah, I didn't even really clue into that while we were talking about the picks and bans. But yeah, once that AA ulti's out and somebody gets Shallow Grave, it doesn't matter. Once the Shallow Grave wears off, they shatter instantly. So, huh. All right, food for thought. I'll keep that in mind for my personal drafts. You know, it makes entire sense. It just never occurred to me. Storm Spirit being a sneaky snake over here, jumping in, knocking down trees, looking to get behind the tower, see what he can do. Oh man, but there are a lot of heroes here waiting to jump on him, and of course the reason he's dropping on those static remnants is that it gives him flying vision, so he can see into the lane by dropping these here. Now, we got the Alchemist running in here. He is going to be spotted out by this lion, and he might get jumped on, but Storm Spirit jumps in underneath the tower, goes right in on the Necrophos, who gets that Shallow Grave put on him. But he is ticking down from the AA ulti, and we'll see in a moment if he does fall. I don't think he will. Alchemist getting jumped on by the Slark. Stun goes out, and Alchemist just trying to run back towards his team. He's got that ultimate up, so he's regenerating like crazy. Tier 2 tower taking a lot of damage. Bristleback running forward. So tanky, just beat down on the enemy team. Doesn't even matter. Storm jumps in, finishes off the Dazzle. Queen of Pain goes down next. Big vacuum comes back down. Slark trying to run himself away, but he gets Viscous Nasal Good. And we got a pause going out here. What is going on? What is going on, my friends? Look at this. 114, 158. Sorry, I don't know. He didn't say anything. What? I'm alright. Little confused here. Alright, so I think Slark should be able to get out of that. Hey Slark, you have pounce, buddy? Hey Slark, bud, you got pounce? Yeah, yeah. They're gonna unpause. I don't blame them. That is just kind of a random, no reason pause. Might have even just like accidentally hit the button or something. I mean, if Dazzle is dead and he decided, oh shit, he had to go get the door or something and put his headset down, yeah, I don't know, they're jumping right in on this. They're going to get themselves 4 kills in this engagement. Slark gets himself out, and tier 3 tower going down. GG is called by Team Bob Marley here, so they're feeling demoralized. A lot of damage being done to them, and they're losing their first racks. It's not worth continuing on. They don't have the late game, and I agree with the GG call. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The first game of this series goes to Totem of Scrotum, otherwise known as Temple of Swag and in-game. Either way, fantastic game played there. Like I said, it was dead even until about that 12-13 minute mark, and one big engagement swung it so that every single other engagement went that way, and you know, just not working out. So congratulations to Temple Swag. We'll get the next lobby up here in a moment. As I said, this is a best of 3, so we'll be jumping into the next game right away to see who will be moving on to the finals. This is the Tactic Hive Dota 2 Alpha Cup. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you in just a moment here. Alright, we are right back into this. I thought they might want to take a moment or two to take a breath, analyze what just happened, but they just said, no, 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 go next, go next, go next. So we got the lobby up, got it slammed down, everything's ready to go, and we are back into game number 2 between Team Bob Marley and Temple of Swag, or Totem of Scrotum. So the way this works is that we determined who got the first pick,
Dire team ban.
Sorry. Okay, in the first game we did a coin toss. The winner of the coin toss got to select whether they would like to take which side or first pick. So first pick was given to Temple of Swag last game, and so Team Bob Marley chose to take Team Dire. Now Temple of Swag, having defeated Bob Marley got to choose, as the loser of the game, did get to select which side they'd want and or
Dire team pick.
It's hard to phrase that because they get a choice whether they want first pick or side selection. So this game, since they lost, they chose to take first pick, and Temple of Swag chose side, which will put them on the Radiant. Team Bob Marley taking Dire yet again, so we end up with the same lineup as last game. So, getting into the game here, we've got Pugna OD, Death Prophet, and Bristleback being banned out, so that Bristleback, these bans are looking a little more standard. Like I said, Alchemist slipping through the pool yet again because he's not quite bannable material. Still a very strong hero, and we saw him put to good use in the last game, but you know, still not quite on top of the meta. Now, Visage being snatched up first by Team Bob Marley. Fantastic hero, did get banned out in the last game, but I'd love to see him put to good use. I love seeing good Visage players, and especially at this amateur level. Like I've said in previous broadcasts, there's a lot of teams out there that don't put the time into learning how to play Visage, which is a real shame, because when you get ones that do, it's a real treat, because you know, he's kind of he's a really fun hero to watch. I mean, some of you might argue, oh, he just throws Soul Assumption, does a bunch of damage, and that's it. But the play with the birds, good bird micro, and then Grave Chill contributing to getting fights in the right place makes him a pretty exciting hero. I like to watch him. So, Viper snatched up by Temple Swag right off the bat. Not sure about the first pick Viper. I mean, it's always a good hero. He's always fantastic, and he shuts down a lot of other picks. I mean, there can't really be a Darkseer. There can't be a OD. There can't be a... Who's the other one I'm thinking of? He dominates a lot of mids too, especially melee mids, so it's really hard to run things like, you know, Pudge. I mean, Slark mid. It's more difficult to run things like... 10
seconds remaining.
Like Night Stalker,
5
etc.
seconds
So,
remaining.
you know, he's kind of a denial pick in general, but, you know, he can be put to good use in and of his own. So, we'll see what he, where he chooses to be played. We have seen a couple tri-lane Vipers being picked up through the tournament, so we'll see. Alchemist grabbed by Temple Swag as well, so they've got that stunning Ogre support. And on the side of Team Bob Marley, they've got themselves a Slark. So Little Fishy Man going to be running around, stabbing people in the back, stealing their stats, not giving a fuck. And now into the second phase of the band. We got Doombringer, Venomancer, and oh yeah, okay. For a second, I just it registered in my brain that Venomancer wasn't Venomancer and he was Viper, because I always look at the two Blizzard people and I never get it. I don't know, man. I don't know.
10 seconds remaining.
Rough stuff. So, now looking towards the rest of these picks, I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to be running again. Like I said, Slark, versatile hero, can be run on the tri-lane like he was last game, but can also be just run straight ahead wherever he wants. He can go to mid lane, he can go to off lane. So it'll really depend on the strategy here, but with the Visage and the Slark, it's a pretty decent lane. Not gonna lie. Wasting a little bit of reserve time now, thinking about that ban, what they want to get rid of, and they decided on a Clockwork. Yeah, I don't think he was banned or picked last game. Yeah, well, he definitely wasn't picked, but he wasn't banned either. So, pretty interesting. Clockwork has been really strong. Actually, I think yesterday, while I was casting this tournament, every single game I watched had a Clockwork in it. Every single one. He wasn't banned once, and as such, the teams just decided to nab him. So the Dazzle grabbed by Temple Swag, so they're going to be running that. That was run by Team Bob Marley in the first game, and it wasn't to great effect. The Ancient Apparition kind of shut that down, and
10
just
seconds remaining.
A couple numerous damage over times, and the ability of Bristleback to kind of chase somebody down made it kind of irrelevant. There wasn't really a point to Shallow Grave in that game, besides letting somebody spam out another spell or two. I think it'll probably go to better use this game, but, you know, we'll have to see. He's still a fantastic hero. I'm not knocking the hero in general, but, like I said, there's something to be said for having a lot of dots and backline damage for when you're playing against a Dazzle. Now, the Nyx Assassin comes out for Team Bob Marley, so there's that backline damage I was talking about, and I mean, if Nyx can get the jump on Dazzle in the middle of a team fight, force him to use Shallow Grave on himself, or even just die before he uses it, you know, it could be a major problem for Temple Swag. Let's see how that works out, but I'm liking this. They got a lot of burst damage. If they do want to go for that Visage Nyx +1 tri-lane, I think with the Slark, if this is the tri-lane that we're looking at right now, I think it's really strong, and it can go aggressive as well. Slark can jump forward, Dark Pact, whatever stun comes out. Dazzle can't really contribute anything, maybe Poison Touch, but that's not going to do too much. So, I mean, when Slark pounces forward, starts doing damage, dishes out that Dark Pact, and then we get a Impale, Soul Assumption, Grave Shield, Mana Burn combo coming back up from there. It's going to be a lot of damage. You're going to be able to kill a lot of heroes with that, so I think that if this is the tri-lane, it'll work out really well, and it can play rather aggressively. Now, the Mirana, picked up by Temple Swag. Not entirely sure how they're going to run this now, because I was assuming Viper would be mid in the first place, but now I'm thinking Viper's... Actually, I don't know. Mirana might go to the tri-lane, but she... Yeah, there's not really a setup for her stun. I mean, Alchemist stun is good, but at rank 1 it's only 1.5 or 1.75 seconds, and at rank 2 it's only 2. It's not enough time for Mirana to position herself into a place where she can throw an arrow and hit it. I mean, if she's up close, she can hit it for the damage, and it will work for them, but I don't know if she's the best or the most optimal hero for this tri-lane. Instead, I expect Viper still to go mid, Mirana to go to the off lane, and then still to pick up a third core. We'll have to see, though. Like I said, very versatile lanes. They can kind of do whatever they want right now, and we'll see what they choose to do. Dragon Knight snatched up by Team Bob Marley, so they got a strong mid laner there. I'm almost sure Dragon Knight will be going mid. We've seen Dragon Knight put into tri-lanes a couple times in recent casts from tournaments like the 82L and whatnot, so I wouldn't put it past them to do that, but I still think this will be the tri-lane. It's a really strong tri-lane. It's got a lot of versatility to it. It's really defensive as well as offensive. A lot of spells to keep them safe, and a lot of spells to dish out the damage and lay down the hurt. Dragon Knight always just kind of a classic mid. I mean, he can go other places, but getting that bottle up so that he's got Dragon Breath or Dragon Tails and Breathe Fires, he's you know, that's what I want. So I think the Dragon Knight will be heading mid. Who he's up against, though, we'll have to see. Like I said, if it is the Viper, Viper does really well against melee mids. He has all the ability in the world to poke them down with his orb, and you know, it's hard for one to stay in lane against that. And especially Dragon Knight. I mean, Dragon Knight can stay back, and he can just breathe fire whenever he has bottle charges and bottle crow to keep himself in lane. But it's not going to be as easy as if he was a ranged hero that can stay away from the Viper. I mean, you're never quite going to beat a Viper in a lane. The best you can really hope for is just stay away from him, because he has no ability to go on you without a gank, and then just out-farm him. Just try to outlast hit him. So, ranged carries with decent... ranged carry-ish mid with decent last-hitting ability is the best way to shut down a Viper. So, you're looking at the Shadow Fiends, even the Templar Assassin... No, not Templar Assassin. Her Refraction gets trashed. Why would I say that? But, I mean, even Death Prophet, Invoker, picks like that. Like I said, Timbersaw, snatched by Template Swag. So now that changes everything. So now it looks like Marana will be heading to the tri-lane. Viper will probably still be going mid, and then Timbersaw to the off lane. Timbersaw, classic off laner, can't really go anywhere else. He could go mid actually, but I still suspect that Viper will be heading into that role. So Marana, Alchemist, Dazzle is probably going to be the tri-lane, which means that the only setup for the arrow is going to be the Alchemist stun, which is still a good setup. Still worked. It's a guaranteed stun that'll hold somebody down for a couple seconds while that arrow flies. But you know, it's there is something to be said about the fact that it can't quite set you up like a Bane Nightmare, you know? You get the Bane Nightmare, Marana just has like a casual jaunt over to the side where she can line her arrow up, she sits there, measures it out, makes sure that she's got the range, then she throws it, it travels through the air for 10 years because it's the slowest projectile in the game, finally hits the target and Nightmare still hasn't worn off, so, you know, Marana doesn't have that luxury. She's gonna have to work for her stuns, make sure she's in good position. Now the Crystal Maiden was snatched by Team Bob Marley, so they've got that on their side. Oh, whoa.
10 seconds remaining.
Whoa. Okay. No, I'm confused now.
5 seconds remaining.
Nyx mid, Dragon Knight off lane? No, Slark off lane, Dragon Knight tri lane, Nyx mid. Shiggity shwat?
Prepare
off lane
for
Nyx maybe?
battle.
Oh, I'm confused. We'll have to keep an eye on what their lanes turn out to be. But anyways, get down to Temple of Swag, Totem of Scrotum. They got road to 3k MMR, playing on that Alchemist yet again. That was him in the first game. NPAC going to be playing on the Dazzle. We got My Dreams Are Crushed playing on the Viper. Raptors going to be playing on that Timbersaw up on the offlane, and Marana will be heading towards mid on the as blue. Okay, so they're putting the Viper on the tri lane. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. It's alright, but, yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with this 100%. I mean, Viper does dish out a lot of damage, but he's not really a tri-lane hero. He just kind of does auto attacks, so he doesn't really have the ability to take advantage of the back and forth skirmishes that will break out during the course of a tri-lane engagement. I mean, it does look like there's going to be a safe lane on Team Bob Marley, which means that it's just going to be farming Viper, which I guess is totally fine. You know, now that I think about it, I was assuming there would be an aggressive tri-lane out of one of these teams, but now that I'm seeing the lanes shape up, it doesn't look to be that way. Now Nyx gets pulled
30 seconds to battle.
a ward, and it's going to be offlane Nyx. Dragon Knight's heading to the mid. He's got that bottle build going on. Crystal Maiden, Visage, and Slark. Huh. Huh. All right. This is part of the reason that I friggin' hate Slark, is because well, it's not just Slark, but he's like I said, he's such a versatile laner. Viper's same thing. They're such versatile laners that you see him in the draft and you're like, well, what are they gonna do? I don't know. It's just gonna have to wait and see what the picks are. And even then, you don't know because they can all be interchanged. Same with like Marana. She's kind of one of those heroes that it's like, well, she can go off lane, she can go mid, she can go tri lane, she can go support, she can do whatever the hell she wants. So my apologies for the bad calls. I wish I could read this better. I really do, but I don't know. Anyways, Marana versus Dragon Knight. That's not going to be as bad a lane as I thought. Viper definitely beats out the Dragon Knight, but Marana or Dragon Knight will have a little bit of an easier time against the Marana. Have that Breathe Fire up, try to get a couple last hits, and hopefully get his bottle up quickly, because it really sucks to burn all your mana and not get the last hits that you need. Now there is an aggressive lane ward coming down here by the Radiant side, so they see that Nyx, they know he's there. They do have a single sentry available on that Alchemist if Nyx does get to level 6 before First Blood or before he dies. Go in the top lane. Lane getting pulled. Slark versus Timbersaw. Pretty straightforward lane, I think. I don't think anybody's really gonna win this lane until there's some support coming in from the supports. But yeah. Anyways, Alc charging up a stun, throws out on the Nyx, who then throws out that. Actually, I think he skilled Spike Carapace first when he saw that. He hadn't put a point in any of his skills yet, and when he saw the Alchemist charging up that stun, he just threw that point into Spike Carapace. As an offlaner, it's really good to just not level your skills until you know what you're up against and you see something coming towards you. Actually, I had a game the other day where I was playing an offlane Marana, and the enemy team was, I think it was a Lion, a Rubik, and something else. And actually, Lion, Rubik, Luno, I think was the lane. And as I ran forward to just kind of check out the lane, Lion came in from the trees, and he went to Earth Spike me. And as he did, I skilled leap and jumped out of it, and I literally, like, oh my god, it was the closest thing. I swear, like 0.10 or like a tenth of a second earlier, and I wouldn't have got away from that. Rubik would have TK'd me, and Luna would have loosed me, and I would have been dead. It would have been a sad, sad day.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Viper
attack.
doing decent on his last, hitting down here, leading the charts, 13 and 6. I don't think he's missed one yet. Oh, he just missed one. Never mind. Never mind. Dragon gonna find himself a double damage rune, but he's waiting for that bottle to arrive before he snatches that up, so he can regen himself to full. Could have been dangerous if Mirana decided she wanted it. She throws an arrow, but Dragon sees it coming. He's gonna move out of the way.
Yeah.
And nothing gonna hit up there. Slark getting a pretty decent free farm up here. He's got 10 and 6 for his last hits right now. Timbersaw trying to make his way forward, see what he can get done, but he is always kind of scared of that the supports coming in. This is a dire ward here, so Timbersaw does not have any vision around this side. Jeez. Oh yeah, all the camps being pulled, so complete jungle efficiency coming out by Team Bob Marley, playing this a little bit smarter than they did before. Oh man, I missed a smoke gank. I am terrible. My apologies here, but looks like Dragon Knight did manage to escape that. A little bit of bad positioning on the support's part, and he backed himself away. He's going to charge up on his bottle charges now. He is out of bottle charges, but 40 seconds, and he should be able to find himself another rune if he's lucky. Throwing out that breathe fire. Mirana taking a good chunk of damage. She does have a salve and a bottle charge up her sleeve if she does ever need it. And Aqua's hanging around here. No, he's gonna head off. Nick's getting a little further forward now that he sees that the supports have left. Gives him a chance to move around. But oh man, this sentry's gonna die before they get a chance to deward this. Maybe. Aqua's coming. Aqua's coming. Sees a ward. 1 auto attack, 2 auto attacks, 3. Oh, he does get it. Does just barely get it. Really lucky on his part, to be honest. That, anyways, jumping in on the Timbersaw here. He gets leashed up and Soul Assumption pops him before he can Timber Chain away. First blood and 436 gold goes the way of the Visage. Grabbed himself a Ring of Basilius and get the Flying Courier there. Oh no, that was up before. His regen rune grabbed by the Nyx Assassin. His mid laner was not going to be grabbing that, so he's forced a Bottle Crow. Should be fine for him as a melee mid like the Dragon Knight or Magnus. You kind of have to expect that you're going to be Bottle Crowing. And he's looking for the Nyx now, charging up a stun, and Spike Carapace is going to fly out in a second here. He throws out the stun at maximum damage, but the damage is negated by the Spike Carapace, but so much damage coming out, they really just can't do anything. Nyx drops him, so the first kill of the game for Temple of Swag is going to go their way. And yeah, pretty cut and dry. The Visage did TP in to try to make something out of that, but just could not. Dragon Knight does get his bottle back now, so he'll be able to move back in the lane, try to get himself a couple last hits once again. But Mirana now on level 6, she'll have that Moonlight Shadow for her team, start moving around, save their lives. No, she actually goes into point an arrow first instead of bothering with the Moonlight Shadow. See some Miranas do this. It's basically just for the sake of making sure that, it's just kind of making sure that your lane is dominated first, because Moonlight Shadow shouldn't really be needed in a situation where it's safe lane versus safe lane. Slark pouncing on the Timbersaw now, doing a good chunk of damage, but Timbersaw returns a favor and walks himself out of that completely fine. Gonna pop off a salve and a clarity, so you should be alright there. And I've got supports roaming around here. See if they can find that Dragon Knight, but he backs off to stick his bottle on the courier, so he might have actually seen that dazzle. No, he's going too far forward to have seen the dazzle, but support's coming in now. They throw out that stun onto the Dragon Knight. The arrow does hit, and they're going to go for it. That Starfall will land on the Dragon Knight and drop him, so another kill going the way of Temple Swag. Grab themselves a semi-early, semi-lead. Things are going good for him. You got here, quick Midas by the Viper, so he's going to be going for that gritty gold build. We'll see in a moment what he chooses to really make of that. It could be goes for that mechanism Aghanims, but Alchemist done himself on the high ground. He is in the smoke, so he won't be spotted, but Visage gonna make his way up. Might actually run right into these supports as they're roaming up towards top. Let's see, this will make for an interesting engagement when it happens. Crystal Maiden is also coming through the jungle as well with that Visage, so this engagement could get turned around if they're not ready for it. And Alchemist does not have enough mana for a stun, but they're going to go in anyways, try to jump in on the Slark. Dives himself into the trees, and he's going to try to leap away. He does get past them, leaps, and pops off the shadow away. Crystal Maiden goes in, drops a Frostbite, but not going to mean much here. Slark's going to try to turn it around, but I don't know if he's actually going to catch anyone. Yeah, he turns around, backs himself up, and we'll just head back to farming. Look towards the last hits here. We see Viper sitting right on top of that chart with 44 and 22. Morana following her 34, or following him 34 and 12. 30 and 15 on the Slark, 24 and 1 on the Dragon Knight, and then the supports and the offlaners all following shortly after. Crystal Maiden actually having more last hits than both offlaners, but that's because she's been running around in the jungle mostly for this course of the game. Hasn't really been in the lane being a direct support. So Dragon Knight Morana lane is trading a little better than I expected it to. Morana's still up 10 last hits on the Dragon Knight, so she's doing herself pretty well. But Dragon Knight will find himself a rune and refill his bottle. Down on bottom, Nyx is doing alright. He's got himself 10 last hits. Not fantastic, but he's getting the levels he needs, and he'll be 6 in just a moment. So I mean, that's all you can really expect of an offlane Nyx like that. Crystal Maiden still farming up in the jungle here, and there's dire wards here, so they see this gank coming in, and Dragon Knight backs right off underneath the tower. But I think they are assuming that there is a dire ward somewhere either here or here. They did ping out both of those spots after the Dragon Knight backed off. So Creep's getting pulled out here, but Timbersaw is just going to hide around the corner of the trees and see if he can steal some of this experience, maybe even a creep or two. Starfall going out on the Dragon Knight, just to harass him down a bit. And now they're jumping in on this Visage here. Shadow Poison goes out on him. And now Slark jumps right in the middle of all of it. Dark Pact dishes out a ton of damage. Finishes off the Alchemist right off the bat. Timbersaw trying to run himself away, but it's not going to happen. He does manage to finish off the Crystal Maiden. Will he escape though? No, the Shallow Grave wears off the second that ability Soul Assumption meets up with him. Slark also dies in the process, and I think that was a decent trade for Temple Swag. They got a good teleport rotation in there, and it helped them out. Dragon Knight now pushing down this mid tower with an illusion rune and that dragon form, so knocking off almost half of the tower's health in a matter of moments there. That is why you can't leave Dragon Knight alone in the lane. The second you do, your tower is gone. Denied. And that is really the strength of Dragon Knight. I mean, he's not a fantastic laner, but if you can just kind of keep him in lane until level 6, the enemy mid laner has to make a choice about whether he's going to gank or whether he's going to lose his tower. It's pretty cut and dry. You can fortify and TP back to an extent, but there is a certain point where it just becomes impractical to do so. So, his top lane, Slark back to farming up. Got himself a Band of Elven Skin towards Fasty Asha, I would imagine. Timbersaw not doing fantastic on his own farm, only got 12 last hits, actually doing worse than the Nyx in that regard, and won't have his mana boots for quite a while here, looking to gain himself about 400 more gold before he can get that. Alchemist's kind of roaming around, throwing down some wards, going to see if he can get a gank off here, but he gets pinged out by the enemy team. They know he's there. Nyx is going to jump right on him. Oh my god, he drops the Sentry Ward, but it's just too late. He gets jumped on, and Nyx pops him right in the face. And there we go, so Nyx taking off, getting an early kill after a rather rough lane, but now pressure comes out on mid. Once that Elder Dragon form is up again, we're likely to see this tower drop. It's getting really low. Timbersaw moving himself over here, going to watch for that double pull again, and he does manage to steal a creep, and we'll probably bring the creep wave back towards the tower here, so decent play by him, a little bit better than what happened last time, and yeah. Bottom, Nyx back to farming up. He's got himself Arcanes right now, so he'll probably be looking towards building a Dagon next. That is the usual build for Nyx. There's other things you can go. You can go Mechanism, you can go 4 staff Blink Dagger. Whatever you feel is necessary, but the usual build is either Blink Dagger or Dagon, so we'll see which he chooses to go for. I would assume Dagon. There's no real need for a Blink Dagger quite yet in the game. He will need one later on, though. He's up on top. Got the Visage coming around the corner. He's spotted out the Timber Saw, but nothing quite going to come of that. 2 supports here waiting in the wing. See if they can get the Nyx off. He pops off the Spike Carapace, so that is wasted. Stun comes out by the Alchemist, and he is toast. Adios, buddy. Yeah, that Prey is going to finish him off. So, close one there, but he does die. Now, Elder Dragon form popped off, and Haste Rune picked up by the Dragon Knight, so he's going to dish out a lot of damage to this Mirana. He's playing careful so that the supports don't come and gank him in the face, and good call there. I think he still could have got that kill and gotten out if he played it really well, but I mean, the supports were definitely coming for him, so he was right to turn around there. And this tower fortified TP coming in might be able to shove him off of this, but still a lot of damage going to be done to it either way. I mean, look at these ticks coming off from passive on Elder Dragon form, and as good as Dragon Knights just keep that stack up. I mean, even if you don't have creep wave, walk up, take a tower hit, and throw one auto attack out on the tower, and then back up. Anyways, Weave goes down, and so they've got the armor bonus. They push in towards the tier 3. Dragon Knight is probably going to get this mid tower here. The arrow flies out by the Mirana, though. She's trying to fight this up, but I don't think she has any right to do so. And Dragon Knight gets himself a kill and a tier 1 tower, so not very well played by the Mirana. 7-6 kill score here. 13 minutes, 25 seconds is the game time. And tier 2 tower facing some pressure here. Nyx throws out an Impale to calm it down, and there is no more creeps left, so they're going to back off now. Handamitis finished on Viper a while ago. He's got a mechanism as well, so we'll see him heading towards an Agnums in just a moment, and that'll allow him to just continually spam out that Viper strike. And it'll be beefy as all hell. It's gonna be really hard to bring that hero down. He's coming in, burning off the mana, and popping off the Spike Carapace to ensure that return damage is not dealt. That's kind of an interesting interaction that Nyx can pop off. If he pops off Spike Carapace and then mana burns the Viper, or does anything to the Viper, attacks the Viper, mana burns him, impales him. He's actually going to stun Viper as well, because the Spike Carapace will trigger on the corrosive armor. So kind of a cool little interaction we got going there. But Nyx is up here, and there is no true sight, so he's just got to pick his target and go for it. But looks like they are just going to back off to the tower. Nyx still waiting in the wing, though. Curious to see. We got Visage Birds flying in, and so there's 4 heroes up here plus the birds. And if Nyx decides to go on this could mean trouble. But Timbersaw throws himself right in there, and we got Starfall coming out. He's gonna dish out that damage, finish off the Crystal Maiden right off the bat. Lark deals a lot of that damage to the Mirana, but she's gonna run away with that Moonlight Shadow. And so 2 of the 4 heroes actually drop here, and then Visage going down as well. Just a matter of moments here, actually staying alive, but Mirana throws up one last auto attack, and they do manage to pick off the Nyx assassin as well. So in a 3v4 engagement, they managed to pick up 4 kills, and this is kind of what we saw last game. I mean, we saw both teams trading pretty evenly in the landing phase, a couple ganks coming out on either side, pretty even kills, but then one big engagement goes the wrong way, and Temple of Swag, Totem of Scrotum got themselves a pretty early advantage that Team Bob Marley is going to have to come back from. If we look at the graphs, it's a little more up and down than last game. Last game we saw pretty dead even until right about here. But now we're seeing a little bit more gain on Temple of Swag, and you see right here, it just jumped up about 4,000 from next to nothing. Same on the gold graph. Pretty even. It's still in their favor, but it jumps up by about 25,000 after those engagements. So they give themselves a tier 2 as well, which will even further contribute to their gold lead. And now they've got really good positioning on the map. They've got room to push towards that mid lane, and here's just not finding the right farm on Team Bob Marley here. They just can't quite make these engagements happen for them. Yasha now finished up on that Slark, so probably heading towards the Sanjay Yasha. We'll see when he actually Manages to get that though. He's farming pretty poorly. Actually, he's alright.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's second highest, but his farm keeps getting interrupted. Oh my god, good arrow finishes out that Nyx, and he doesn't even manage to get his spike carapace off. He's just going to drop. And down for 30 seconds, 272 gold going the way of the Viper. Tier 1 tower is going to drop. They really got nothing to defend this with. And
Dire's middle
really
tower
pushy
is
lineup
under
here as
attack.
well. Like,
Dire's
I mean, it's
middle
not
tower has
pushy in the
fallen.
traditional sense of a Pugna or a Leshrac or like a Nature's Prophet or anything. Like, but what they have is just, I mean, the team ability to continue pushing. Timbersaw clears out wave. They got Dazzle to keep them well sustained. Some arcade boots to keep them all in mana. Viper has them back, and oh my god, big engagement goes out here. Viper the first to drop. Dazzle drops shortly thereafter. I don't think there was a Shallow Grave thrown out, and with the Soul Assumption, they catch the Timbersaw off as well. Looking for the Mirana, who leaps herself into the trees, but they know she's there. No stun. Oh, that was close. Almost hit her, but not quite. She teleports herself out. 3 kills going back the way of Team Bob Marley. So they are still in this. I didn't mean to discount them when I was talking about the relation to the previous game, but as I said, kind of just some things work out like that. So now going in towards Roche, I fully support the decision. They already got the tier 1 mid. They got nowhere else to go, and can't really be contested by Temple of Swag here. I mean, they know what's happening, but what are they going to do? I mean, you going to throw acid spray on it? That your plan? They do actually back off. They're not going to do it. They see the alchemist, and they get scared, and that's going to be it. But I think they definitely could have done that. Arrow flies in though, so alright. Maybe not. It would have been a tight one if they did, but they decided against it, gonna play it safe. Ugh. Now, we've got Tier 2 tower facing a little bit of pressure. All 5 heroes from Totem and Scrotum sitting here ready to go. Oh, stun catches out the Slark. They ping this, and I think they're going to go on it. Yeah, the weave goes out. They dish out a lot of damage. The Slark has to Shadow Dance and pounce away. Viper just taking a lot of damage. He gets Shallow Grave, and will mechanism himself back up and do Shadow Wave. Shadow Wave back up. Urn going out on the Viper as well, so like I said, they got all this sustain for pushing, and it's working out really well for them. All of Team Bob Marley's damage went out onto that Viper, and he did not die. Instead, the Nyx hasn't died. That was it. So 13-9 your kill score now. 19 minutes, 19 seconds is your game time, and gem being picked up by the Dazzle. Interesting. So he's going to grab the gem, not wanting to deal with the Nyx. Obviously, Slark is no longer revealed by True Sight, while in his ultimate, that was a 6.79 patch. But, yeah, no more invis for you. No more wards as well. I mean, they've been doing an alright job warding. They've got this one on the river here, and they had an aggressive lane ward up here up until it died. That was kind of irrelevant. But, I mean, any wards that they place from now on are probably going to be spotted out and dewarded by this Dazzle as he roams around the map. Oh man, smoke gank. And obviously smoke, once again, not revealed by True Sight either. So walking past these sentry wards is not going to mean a damn thing. And we're probably going to see them. Are they going to go into Roche? Or are they going to... where are they going? Going to gank their own Ancients with this smoke? I guess so. They're heading down towards bottom. And as they see the Viper, they know he's there. And, oh man, Nyx walks himself into a sentry ward. Oh no, he walks himself into the gem with the Dazzle. I was just talking about that. The Dragon Knights get cut out on the back line, but meanwhile, Visage taking a ton of damage from this Viper. He does drop. Viper or Visage and Nyx both out of the fight already. Mirana dies in the front, and Crystal Maid channeling off a really good ultimate, but she gets picked off for it. She is now down. Nyx Assassin's bought back and come back into the fight, but he's pretty irrelevant right now. He doesn't have Vendetta, and he doesn't. He can't sneak around anyways because there's a gem on the field, as well as sentry wards being placed down every which way. So buyback maybe not worth it. He probably could have afforded to wait out that death timer, but they're getting a little far forward now, farming himself up, but he's in no danger. The enemy team has retreated to their own jungle. And let's take a look at some of the graphs. Heading back towards that gold graph, we see a steady incline from where we were before. This was like the last shoot up that I was talking about. And after the teams returned to farming, had a little bit of passivity. It started kind of coming back a little bit, and then another team fight went the way of Totem Scrotum, and they are 10,000 up. Looking to the XP, pretty similar story, not quite the same. Only a 5,000 advantage in terms of in the favor of Totem Scrotum, but kind of just went upwards, and then started coming back down, and then a good team fight happened, and that was it. Now, Dazzle gets caught out here, and he tried to TP away, but the Visage Birds interrupt that, gets stunned out, but the Soul Assumption does not do any damage. I don't think there were any souls active on that, and with the Mirana ulti popped, they're going to walk themselves away. Crystal says he has Gem in all chat, and Timbersaw says, okay. Viper says, I know. These guys are funny. Oh crap, I almost knocked over my coffee there. Anyways, Slark farming in the enemy jungle, maybe not safe. We got a pause please by the Dragon Knight. Oh, got somebody at the door. Just gotta take off. We'll have just a moment of pause. Now, did they see the Slark is the question. Did they see the Slark? Don't know if they saw the Slark. Don't believe they saw the Slark. Slark should be fine. Alright. This is our go. Ready to go. And we are underway. Jehovah's Witnesses ruining Dota. Heard it here, folks. Creep wave in the mid lane getting farmed up now. Nick's trying to get himself some gold under his belt. He's got really nothing to his name. He's got a Bracer, or a Gauntlet of Strength and a Mental Intelligence. I'm not even sure why he's got both of those. One goes into a Bracer, the other goes into a Null Talisman. But neither really contribute, or together they don't really contribute to any single item. And, wards galore down here, another set of 2 sentry wards for no reason. They did that in the last game as well. They warded up their ward stone and stuck down, yeah, I don't know.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, tier 2 facing a lot of pressure. It's going to go down without a question. Fortify was available,
Dire's
I believe,
tower has fallen.
They weren't willing to do it. They're going to back up and defend their tier 3s. And no outer towers remain for Team Bob Marley here, so they're having a rough time for sure. Definitely not. Oh man! Buffed up that spike carapace, assuming he was going to run right into that Mirana arrow, as I often do. Impale goes out, catching the creep wave, and the Alchemist. Slark pounces right in. He's going to go for it, but he has bursted out so quickly. He has to pop off the ultimate, run away. Soul Assumption goes out, dishing out a lot of damage, but Alchemist is regenerating it slowly as we speak. Nick's assassin, the first to drop in this fight as Supersonic jumps forward. Mirana did get the final hit on him. Soul Assumption flies out on the Viper, but it doesn't matter. A lot of damage goes out. Visage drops. Crystal Maid channeling an ultimate right now, dishing out all the damage in the world. Timbersaw died, and he's only down for a fraction of his death timer because he's got that bloodstone. Crystal Maid drops as well. The only person left standing is the Slark, and that will be it. So the this rack's probably going to fall. GG. Good luck in the finals. They're calling GG. So not going to stick it out. This will be the elimination of Team Bob Marley and Temple of Swag, or Totem of Scrotum. The team of the day yesterday came through a tiebreaker round as second place in the round robin, and ended up in the semis, which they have just taken 2-0. So, Team Bob Marley out of the tournament. Temple of Swag, Totem of Scrotum heading on towards the finals, and we will see how that turns out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to throw up an overlay, find out when the next game is coming up, and you'll see a estimated time for that game popping up on the overlay in just a matter of moments. Once again, thank you for watching, and we will catch you in just a moment here.